Right, welcome back to the channel and a new video on the Focus. Pick it up from yesterday where we rebuilt the engine. If you've not seen that video, go and have a look. We've been running for about 20 minutes now. Thermostat's just opened, loads of hot air coming out. There was a bit of smoke coming out the exhaust, but that's cleared up. Yes, we're not getting any smoke at all now. I was concerned about the piston ring gap. We are getting a bit of blow by underneath the oil cap, a little bit of smoke, but that is getting better, so I'm presuming that's just the piston rings wearing in. So while that's going, I'm going to get the inner wheel lining on and tackle these brakes next. So let's get started with that. Right. So bottom under tray's on, wheel arch liners in. So first job, you're going to get the dust caps off these, and then inside there you've got two 7mm Allen key bolts. So that's going to take the caliper off. And then the carrier is this bit here, which is two 18mm bolts, and then we can get the discs off. So let's do that. So put that over there. Bit hard to do this one-handed. Let's come back once we get this off. So I'm going to hook that on there, out the way. Now we can take the pads off, which are an absolute state. So, right, let's get this carrier off and see if this disc will come off with a bit of gentle persuasion. Okay. Oops. Right, set off. So I think this is going to need a wallop, so we'll come back once that's off. So give that a good clean with a wire brush, and yeah, let's get the disc on. Right, discs are on. Bit of copper grease on the calipers, on the brake discs. Next job, we've got to get a big set of pump pliers and get that piston back in and get the rubber seated properly. So I need to take the cap off the expansion bottle and the brake fluid, and then pop that piston in. That is my preferred method of winding them back, using a G-clamp. You can buy all kinds of special tools for it, but you really can make do with that, unless you're doing the rears where you need to wind them back in, but these just press straight in. Right, that's one side done. Let's get the wheel back on, and I won't bore you with the other side. We'll get the other side done and then we can get some insurance and take it on a test run.
We're all in shock, quite honestly.
England's group, which runs all 22 Pizza Hut delivery outlets in Scotland, has been accused by Unite Union, which speaks for staff, of taking wages off them and doing things like changing timesheets.
Instantly, we had multiple drivers just quit.
Right, so test drive went well. No issues. Put about 30 miles on it now, give it a clean. So the Mrs. Kev's running around in that. Going to break that in for 700 miles, and then we'll change the oil, and that one's good to go. Right, costs breakdown. Car cost us £200, transport was 100, cleaning it was 60 because it was really bad. All the inside was covered in mould, so you know, a deep clean on that. It's still not done, but it's better than it was. So total to get it back on the drive was 360. The engine repair cost a bit more than I was expecting because I didn't realise that the pistons would be damaged, so I'd budgeted about £500, and it's ended up costing a bit more, but so there we go. all the costs for that. So £834 to get the engine running and serviced, so not too bad, I don't think. The cheapest used engine was about £1,000, and that was from a scrapyard. So you've still got to do a timing belt, water pump, service. You'd have to do a clutch as well if you were taking it out. So you'd be, you know, and you don't even know whether that engine's going to be any good or not. So at least we're confident that that one's had everything done to it. Cheapest recondition one was nearly £3,000. So obviously that was a no-go. Tools and bits and bobs, I'm not really going to include this in the total, but you know, if you're going to do this job yourself, just budget about £300 for tools that you might not necessarily have, and that included assembly oil and greases and all the little bits and bobs, and sockets that I didn't have, and all them little bits and bobs. So that's that. Brakes, £87 and 9p. Suspension is on the advisory on the last MOT. It's got something to do with lower suspension bushing, worn on both sides. I'm not too worried about that right now. It's MOT'd till the end of July, so after I've done everything else, before I take it in for another MOT, we'll get that done. DPF cleaner, it has thrown a code a couple of times while I was messing about with it, saying that the suck content was high, but then that's gone off. I don't know whether it's done a regen while I'm out. I've not really checked the diagnostics, but I don't really want to do a forced regen on a built engine just yet, so we'll see if that just sorts itself out. If not, we'll whip it off and do a DPF clean. So running total, 1,578 so far it owes me. I'm going to be doing a wheel refurb myself, and I'm going to do a lot of the paint work. It's got lots of scratches and dings, and we're going to be doing all of that on the drive. We're going to be painting that, clear coating it, getting it tip top. Finish value, I reckon it's worth 3.5. I think that's a cheap car for a fully sorted car, all the paintwork done and wheels done, and it's got full service history and everything. So yeah, so that's the video on that one. Next video on the Ford's going to be all the paintwork, but I'm putting that on hold for a sec because I need to fix my car. The oil cooler's gone on my Mercedes, so I'm going to be doing an oil cooler swap and system flush on that for the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Cheers. So total 360 to get the car back on the drive. Bollocks.